With the world being hit by a global pandemic, countries slamming their borders shut, governments saying you can't travel internationally, all but for a few specific reasons, even domestic borders opening and closing, and then compounded by top health chiefs saying international travel is unlikely in 2021, it leaves us with a multitude of questions. Today, I want to discuss the underlying questions. When will we ever be able to travel internationally again? And when we can, will it ever be the same? Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world, friends. Hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to another video. For those of you that are new here, welcome. My name is Nick Priest. I'm currently a A320 First Officer based here in Melbourne, Australia. And today, as you've heard by the intro, I want to discuss the whole question surrounding when will we be able to travel internationally again? And obviously when we do, will it be the same? So I want to preface this, obviously, before I get into it, that these are just my opinions and my thoughts around this topic, and obviously discussing these. And obviously it is close to my heart, being a pilot, being able to travel right around the world. It is what I do for a living, and obviously not only what I do for a living, but do just love to travel like a lot of other people. Diving right into it, I know right around the world restrictions are going to be a little bit different, but here in Australia, I guess this is going to be mainly where it's kind of focused around, because I know obviously what restrictions are here and what they kind of have been here. I'll obviously touch on what I do know on other countries and what's going on. What I can see is what's going on in those other parts of the world as well. But here in Australia, basically since February 1st last year, so 2020, our international borders have closed. So there's only a few specific reasons we can actually leave the country. A few of those being if you have to travel for urgent medical attention, you can obviously do that, and for things like work and business as well. So basically, for the majority of people, you can't travel internationally or leave the country internationally, and even if you can, getting back to Australia is actually very difficult right now. There's still like 20,000-30,000 people still trying to get back home that are stuck overseas. International flights coming into Australia are very limited right now. There's repatriation flights going on, but getting seats on those, I've heard, is very hard, and obviously costs quite a bit of money to actually confirm them, because you can book a seat like an economy, and then I've heard you can get to the airport and the airline say, sorry, your seat's no longer available, or there's now new restrictions or new caps on how many people can be on the plane, and you've been bumped. And I've even heard of people confirming and buying a business class seat, which obviously is a lot more expensive. They're getting to the airport and being told that, sorry, you can no longer travel with us. So obviously they offer refunds or credits. Even if you can leave the country internationally for a reason, coming back to Australia is very difficult. I know comparatively in the UK a few months ago, when they're kind of at the top of the amount of cases they were getting a day, right around the UK, borders were shut, so people weren't accepting people from the UK to come in. But even once that lifted, similar to Australia, there's only specific reasons that you can actually leave the UK, like for business. Obviously there are reasons. I don't know how hard it is to get back into the UK once you leave, but I guess really looking at the outlook of it, and obviously being able to travel for leisure, is obviously what majority of people traveling internationally do, and obviously what Em and myself want to get back to as well. You know, we were very lucky to get married at the end of 2019. We got married in Florence, Italy, and we absolutely loved it, although our time was cut a bit short there just because I was in the middle of flying training at that time. So we had to come back, and we were planning to go back for our proper honeymoon to Europe and kind of do Europe like properly and spend like 4, 5, 6 weeks. It would have been awesome. So we are hanging to get back to Europe, just like a lot of people, obviously, to travel again and travel internationally. So we're trying to stay obviously optimistic, like I'm sure a lot of people are, and hopefully it can all open up very soon. So looking at it, majority of people thought obviously international travel was going to open back up in 2021, and hopefully it still does. But major airline carriers were accepting international bookings, you know, kind of about mid this year, which they have now pushed them back to October this year. So hopefully international travel will still open back up this year in 2021, especially with vaccines starting to roll out right around the world. Here in Australia, they've just started happening in the last week or two. I know in the UK and America have been happening already, but here in Australia, top health chiefs earlier this year were saying that international or overseas travel is unlikely in 2021. Now, to preface this, this was before kind of the vaccine started being rolling out, but they are saying that it looks like we should have sort of travel bubbles open up here in Australia. So from Australia to New Zealand, you'll be able to travel without having to quarantine for 14 days at the other end of that. And I know they are looking at opening up travel bubbles with other countries nearby in Australia. So hopefully to the north of Australia, obviously we have a lot of Asian destinations there, so hopefully they are looking at opening up some of those corridors of travel as well. But being an airline pilot, for those of you that don't know, prior to being a first officer on the A320, I was a second officer on the Boeing 787. So every week I was traveling internationally. Obviously that was my job. But it's been probably about 18 months now, yeah, since I've traveled internationally. So we're really keen to obviously get out and travel international again, obviously when it is only safe to do so. But apart from that, even traveling domestically within Australia, I've only been able to travel out of the state a few times and obviously stay out of the state a few times when I went up to Brisbane a few months ago to do some flying out of there. But even that, I couldn't leave the hotel room unless I was going to the airport to then operate a flight. Last week, actually, we were about to travel up for a 2-3 night getaway, which we were looking forward to, and then Melbourne went into like a 5-day snap circuit breaker lockdown here, so we obviously couldn't travel. Hopefully we can still do that in the coming weeks or in the coming month, but then that also kind of raises a question: once we can travel again, will it initially only be kind of traveling around your own country, or just domestically? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Em and I have a bunch of Australia we still want to see. I guess just trying to delve into obviously international and long haul flights and stuff like that when they will kind of resume. So obviously major airlines, major carriers are wanting that to kind of pick back up as soon as it's safe to do so, and wanting to connect obviously everyone from different parts of the world to where they want to go, whether that be for business, family, friends, leisure travel, all that good stuff. So here in Australia, I kind of mentioned it just a little while ago, they kind of have flagged that they're planning to travel internationally kind of October this year. Obviously that is only still a few months away, so hopefully that does pick up. But then that kind of delves into the question of, when we can travel internationally again, what will it be like? I know seeing some people that have been traveling for business purposes and them traveling internationally, airports are just absolutely empty. I know when I was kind of flying during the lockdowns here in Australia, airports were very, very empty. The emptiest I've ever seen them. So I can only imagine traveling internationally, it's 10 times amplified. And then obviously apart from the airports where you actually go, tourist destinations, specific sites and stadiums and things you want to see. Will they be open again? If they are, what will the procedures be like? I'm sure for a while there's going to be a lot of different procedures in place, masks being one of them. I'm sure a whole bunch of other safety procedures will be in place as well. But obviously apart from that, these are people's livelihoods. Like I obviously friends that obviously are still international pilots and they haven't been able to fly, and I've obviously had to get different jobs. This whole pandemic has been going on. It's not obviously only here in Australia, it's right around the world. Really, it's just going to be cargo pilots that have been kind of flying a fair bit internationally, and obviously some repatriation flights have obviously been going as well internationally. But yeah, we're obviously all wanting the world to kind of get back to as normal as it can be, because obviously it's not only people in the aviation industry affected, there's obviously tourism and hospitality, kind of all just blends into one. So it's been pretty crazy, obviously a pretty crazy 2020, and even 2021 has kind of started off not how probably a lot of people have expected, but with vaccines sort of starting to happen, hopefully that kind of makes things get back to a bit more normal. Obviously, depending on whether you want to get the vaccine and when you'll be offered them. We're hearing that there's going to be like some sort of digital passport that will say that you have the vaccine and will allow you to travel. So there's obviously a whole bunch of different things that are now going to be in place, and I'm sure they'll come to light in the next few months. But I know it's kind of pretty scary when you hear, especially here in Australia, we're hearing top health chiefs saying that international travel or overseas travel is unlikely in 2021. These are the people that actually make the decisions about whether they open the international borders or not. So it's pretty scary when you hear those people saying that it's not going to kind of be likely this year, but obviously that is all subject to change. Again, these are obviously just my opinions and just wanted to open up a discussion with you guys. So if you guys want to comment down below what you guys think, what you guys have been seeing going on, and if you guys have been able to travel at all, even domestically, even when we can, will you guys be traveling again? Because yeah, and there's obviously going to be a lot of people that will be scared again to travel even domestically, with our borders kind of opening and shutting quickly. People have not had the confidence to travel even domestically. We had people here in Australia get stuck in New South Wales and not be able to return back to Victoria because the borders shut quickly and people just couldn't get home. I know people have been even scared to travel domestically. So yeah, it's been a pretty crazy ride obviously that we're all going on right now. Hopefully we do get back to some sort of normality and we all can travel again. If you guys are watching this, I'm sure you're interested in travel and love to travel and fly as well. So hopefully we can all get back out there and get traveling and flying again very soon, internationally as well. I know personally for us, as soon as we can, we're going to be taking some leave, going internationally somewhere as well, for sure, even domestically, as soon as we can, and sort of exploring a bit of Australia as well. And obviously taking you guys with us, really where this channel started, obviously with aviation and traveling as well. So I want to take you guys with us for that journey when it does restart. It is actually time now, because it has been a little while since I've done on the channel. And now, somehow, magically, I have attempted to grow some sort of beard, can't even call it that. But anyway, here we are. It has been a while since I've shown it on the channel. We are going to work out, and today is leg day, and of course we need some pre-workout. So our pre-workout flavor of choice today is the Sour Patch Kids Red Berry flavor by Ghost. Of course, if you guys want to pick anything up from them, protein, pre-workout, anything at all, even some sick apparel like the one I'm wearing, use discount code PRIEST, save yourself 20%. First link in the description box down below. This is probably how, 9 times out of 10 we'll have our pre-workout, but today, and then myself,
let's get ready to rumble!
Alright, it is time to work out.
So why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
So that was our leg workout, and yes, we are still loving the car. Had it for a few weeks now. Obviously we could not drive for 2 weeks because of isolation. Love that. How is isolation, babe?
Lonely.
Because we were isolating. But for those of you that are new here or do not know, I do have a 90-day transformation ebook available which you can download instantly right now, which goes through 90-day transformation, as the title depicts, obviously, and workouts obviously you can follow step by step, have them on your phone, real simple as well. If you guys want to check that out, it is linked in my description box down below to check it out. But we have just finished leg day and just got sushi. Case in point, sushi. So for my sushi, I got brown rice with tuna and avocado, and then a white rice with tuna and cucumber, and then a sushi sandwich as well. So we're about to do ours. I know, yeah, I've been wanting to get more consistent with YouTube videos. I've said that for a little while. I've said that a few times, but I really do want to get more consistent with YouTube videos. So comment down below what you guys would like to see in future videos. If you aren't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button to be first to be notified when that video does come out. And if you want to keep more up to date with obviously what I'm doing day to day and what's going on, you can follow me on Instagram at Nick Priest. Hopefully you guys have all been keeping well and keeping safe on where you are in the world, depending on what restrictions you guys have and what's going on. Really do appreciate you coming on this journey with us. We'll see you guys next video. Another aviation video, obviously, where this channel kind of started. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you next video.